I have a Brother VX1120 sewing machine. It does not feed the fabric when trying to sew any stitch. The test piece, you can see, just has bar tacks on it. I'm going to show you how to fix this. Some tools and supplies will be needed. We're going to need a screwdriver and a coin to do most of this work. A little bit of sewing oil, and probably a needle or a toothpick to dispense it with. So, what we're going to do in the interest of safety is we're going to disconnect the power cord. And we're going to remove the needle and the presser foot. And now we're going to remove the cover to get to the bobbin. Flip down the door. Rotate the latches. Take out the retaining ring. And take out the bobbin and the hook. We want to make sure that there are no loose threads or any fuzz in this bobbin area, so I'd recommend cleaning that out if you see anything. And we're going to then remove the front cover. So let's do that next. I've turned the machine around and we're going to remove the upper right hand screw. Now we're going to remove the 3 back screws that are also holding the front cover on, which are here and here and here. We'll do that and we'll move to a different view to remove the 4th screw. Now that I've removed the 3 back screws for the front cover, we have to remove the 4th little short remaining screw that's buried in here, which is right there. And we're going to loosen and remove that screw. Now that that's done, we're going to reposition the sewing machine onto its back and remove the cover. Now the cover is loose, but there's a little trick to pulling it straight up. And that is you have to depress the bottom cover right in the center of the throat to loosen the top. And you can see there's a tab and a tab that have to get disconnected. And now we can remove the bottom cover. We'll turn the machine so we can see that a little better. Now that I've repositioned the machine, we're going to point out the 4 screws that hold the framework to the rear cover so that they can be disassembled. And those 4 screws are down here, right here, one up here, and one back over here beside the belt. And we'll remove those next. Now that those 4 screws are removed, we're going to remove the plate that is on and around the feed dogs, just to make sure we have space. A coin works very nicely for these 2 little screws. Now we're ready to remove the back half case. And in order to do that, we have to make sure that the presser foot lever is down, and then we've got to jiggle the case and the housing away from each other at kind of an angle because of the electrical connector on the right side. The feed dogs are supposed to drop down and move forward and then move up and back to complete 1 stitch. And the spring in the mechanism should pull the feed dog plate down, which at the moment it's not doing since the mechanism is stuck in this machine. So we're going to turn the machine around and show you the little drive on the back side. So here we are on the back side, and the feed dogs and the mechanism are all driven right down here. And we're going to rotate it around so we can look at it from the bottom. And in this particular case, this pivot and lever are stuck. This is supposed to pivot, and you can see the end of the pivot pin here and the end of the pivot pin up here with a snap ring. And this piece is stuck. It's what needs lubricating because it does not move at all. So I'm going to spray a little brake cleaner on those pivot points and on that arm and see if I can loosen it up. And while we've got this all apart, we're going to apply a whole bunch of lubricant to a bunch of the pivots and pins and cams that are in this machine, and we're going to see how well it works. And we'll hook it up and show you that in just a moment. Now, after some 30 minutes of using some brake cleaner and applying some lubricant to various pins and pivots and cams, let's see how well it works. As you can tell, I've plugged it in and the light is on, and we'll see how well things move now. And now that looks pretty darn nice and it's pretty darn smooth. So just reassemble the sewing machine, put some thread in it, and test your stitches, and it should be just fine. Thanks for watching.